When we think of the word city, a lot of images come to mind. For most, the massive skyscrapers that frame the horizon is probably the first thing that pops up. The towers that cut the skyline for each of the major cities. London, New York, Chicago, huge structures that dominate the landscape. For others, you may think of alleyways and sidewalks, crowded with all kinds of people from all kinds of life. Concrete boardwalks and quiet, dark corners full of murder and crime. Perhaps the public transit, cabs, corner stores, and hotels are more your fare, the trappings that make such a monumental collection of people all able to function within such close quarters. Finally, you may think of the art. The music scenes, theater, graffiti, nightclubs, the food and sculptures, the dusty basements where the next big thing is brewing up between two roommates on a scribbled napkin. Whatever your idea of a city is, hold on to it. Hold it tight. Got it? Great. We're going somewhere else. The first residents of Cancel City were cave drawings, paintings made of poop and passion on the walls, warning mammoths are coming, snakes and spirits that eventually people forgot once they were eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or something. Over time, people began to tell stories around campfires, myths of the gods they believed in, or tall tales about heroes on the battlefield. Throughout history, people have told stories. It's a clever little survival technique. We aren't bound to only pass things through our genes, but we could pass them through pictures and poems and art. Words and writing pushed this farther and farther, and the ideas we created were given life and purpose. As our population grew, so did the land of stories we told. This world became known as the collective. You ever have an idea? Or tell a story, and it seems to get away from you. A drawing you made that other people interpret differently, or the all-too-common correction of, that's not what I meant, or that's not what that means. You yourself has probably looked at a TV show or read a poem and filtered it through your own experience, connecting the lives of characters in romantic comedies to your recent breakups, or your feelings of rage that a Celtic warrior is yelling on the battlefield while you're thinking about your current job or manager. You may feel like once something is made and shared, it kinda has a life of its own. Well, my dear listener, it does. Or rather, they do. Yes, those characters from TV shows, superheroes from comic books, cowboys, and talk show hosts all exist and interact in the world of the collective. They live and breathe here. They chat and work. A lot of the Godzillas work in infrastructure. The anime protagonists have a chokehold on high school politics. And the scores and scores of villains and henchmen are strangely very unionized. The world of the collective is a strange and marvelous place where all characters of our collected consciousness hold chats, wars, love, and strive to gain the one kind of currency that matters. Attention. Yes, attention. Ats, the young people call them, but most of the people call them tenors. It's a small note that shows how much the waking world is watching you and how relevant you are to the conscious mind. Everything runs on tenors, and everyone who lives in the collective pays their rent, buys groceries, goes to movies, and lives their best life by trading attention back and forth between the sorry sods who need it most. Now, some famous ideas, Marvel characters, classical music scores, Mona Lisas, and the diehards of history all got enough attention when they were in circulation to comfortably retire in the suburbs of nostalgia. The hills of fond memories and the rolling countrysides of barbecue chat references will give them enough residuals to never have to work another day in their life. But for the rest of us, there's Cancel City. Cancel City is where old ideas went to die. Not cult classics. Not the charming films that we laugh about after too many drinks. No. In Cancel City, it's where the podcast that you never finished lived. The action hero that was too edgy or too boring for the year it came out. The apartment buildings smell of crushes and adolescent poetry and terrible foam alien costumes stacked on top of each other. The alleys are clogged with forgotten YouTube personalities, and there's a whole district of side characters from Hallmark Christmas specials. The fashion is designed by those little cereal mascots that didn't quite catch on, and the streets are policed by whatever failed weight loss trainer and Saturday morning cartoon villain the city could get their hands on. In short, Kansas City has seen better days. With the influx of internet content, every Tom, Chuck, and Sally believes their creation is going to get the attention it deserves. Every kid is an artist, every gym bro and workout expert, every streaming service a production company. The new mayor Isekai has even made a program sending old, washed-up ideas out into the collective to keep shows alive long enough for them to get enough attention for them to stay out of this mud hole. Heck, you may even win the meme lottery and win enough attention for even a moment to move somewhere, anywhere but here. But until then, you're here. You're here in Kansas City fighting for survival, scrounging up any attention you can get while doing odd jobs and keeping the engine of the forgotten machine running, jamming up the highway with your stupid dreams of being the next big thing. But who knows? Maybe your luck will turn around. Maybe you just need a chance to show the collective what you're really made of. Maybe, just maybe, you'll show this city that you aren't canceled just yet. Welcome to Kansas City, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Apelles Johnson. I am the owner of 4 Story Games, and today we are running Kansas City. It's a wonderful, terrible place, and I have some wonderful, terrible people who will be joining me to explore.
Feels accurate.
Yes. Why don't we just go around, say our names, just introduce yourself a little bit, and then we'll explain kind of what we're doing here and get started. We'll start with you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ronnie Fleming. I'm a comedian out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And should I say who I'm playing?
You can give us a name. You want to give us a name?
His name is L.
Awesome. We'll start there. That sounds great.
And I'm Cavin Eggleston, a comedian out of Indianapolis, and I am playing Celly.
I'm Bree Eggleston. I am the wife of a comedian in Indianapolis. And I'm playing Daisy.
Excellent. Today we are going to be playing the game Kansas City. It is using the game engine Vessel, the adventure game that we are piloting for. I am very happy in general. I'm very glad that we've got to come back. We did a session 0. If you're interested in that session 0, it should be somewhere nearby wherever this is, and you can find it and listen to it, and that'll have the full breakdown. But I am happy because during that breakdown we did a lot of the character creation, and it was so fun. I'll give a quick recap here, but it was so fun, and I'm very happy to see how this game goes. First up, I wanted to really quickly go over just the basic rules. First, we'll just go over social rules, just in general. The 3 main rules I always used. Don't talk over each other, because the game is all talking, right? And it's kind of like taking the controller away from your little brother while they're playing the game. 2, don't make characters other people don't want to play with, right? And we all made really fun characters that I think will be great for that. Yeah. And the last one is that this is a game. We have used some things to kind of help with that process. When I say it's a game, it means a couple of things. The first is that it's a game. You can get better or worse at it, right, over time. And my job as a guide is to help you all get a little bit better every time we play. But also it's a game that means it's random, right? There is an element of chance to it. Things... And we're getting into it for real. Your character that we love very much could totally die.
No.
That's a thing that could happen. Or worse, they could not get paid. And
I choose death.
That could happen, but that is part of the game, right? And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but either way, we're all going to have a great time. The last thing I wanted to touch on is that because of the game, the people playing the game are always more important than the game. So we kind of check in with everybody beforehand. We use a checklist. Let me pull it up here. Ours is mostly done by... Where are we at? Kennesaw and Lauren Bryant Monk. It's the TTRPG Safety Toolkit at bit.ly/TTRPG Safety Toolkit. You can use that. It just has like a list of different things that come up. And because of that, it's not a... I guess the best way to say it is if there is a conflict of interest, right? Or if there's something that comes up that some people feel comfortable with, other people don't feel comfortable with, it is a feature of role-playing games to then adjust those things for us as we're playing. It's not a bug. It's a good thing about it. It's not like we're playing a video game and that creepy thing that comes in, there's no way to finish the level without facing that creepy thing. We can just change it, right? And I have full ability and authority to do that because I'm running the thing. A thing that actually, I bring that up because one of our things that we had in our list, as we went through, for the most part, this game's going to be rated PG. Everything's going to be, we're keep it PG for most everything. We'll do our best. Sometimes something might slip, but that's okay. We'll do our best. The other things that we talked about, no big social issues. We're not trying to solve the planet right now. This is totally just very funny in a funny setting. Also, flirting is okay. We said nothing explicit, but flirting is totally fine. No bugs, gore, harm to children, or animals, I think are the big ones that we all agreed on. If any of those things come up, I will cut them out and rework the story. And what I realized is one of those things came up between session 0 and now. So I build some of the world based on suggestions and things that come through, and bugs came up. One of the heroes of the place you all were going to was going to be Scorpite, who could talk to scorpions. And I was preparing for this game, and I realized, wait a minute,
Bugs.
Well, technically,
scorpions
are arachnids. I think that's important to clarify.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a bug. You could squish it.
You can't squish it.
You could squish me, Bree. Am I a bug?
I mean,
if you tried hard enough, anything's a bug. But, so, really easy. We are going to change it to some kind of rodent, and I'm going to get 3 rodents from you all, and then I will decide on which rodent stays in.
okay.
And I'm not going to tell you which one it is until we get back into it. Are we ready?
Sure.
So, I just need from you which rodent you would like to dance with the most.
You asked this question before we started recording, and my mind was so excited. Can I go first?
You certainly can.
I would like to propose a capybara.
I just knew it. I just knew the answer was going to be capybara.
I am a basic white lady.
That's woof. I just knew someone was going to say capybara, and I'm not just okay with that, but there are a lot of implications to it being capybara in this instance. Most of which, it might totally make this show savable if it's capybaras running around. But I want to get the other 2 answers. Let's go to you. Ron, what you think?
I don't even know what a capybara is.
It's a very large, adorable rodent. It's the largest rodent.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like
Like a hamster pig.
It's a hamster pig. Yeah, it's about the size of a pig.
Okay.
It's not a small thing. It's like it comes up to like your waist or something, and it's like they just walk around being adorable. Yeah, there's a picture of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I would also like to point out that if you were in any sort of middle or high school choir, you also know that capybaras sit in the old gum tree.
I don't know what that.
Merry, merry king of the bushes, he
Thank
laugh. That's actually kookaburra.
Oh, dang it.
Kookaburra is a bird, which would make way more sense in a tree than capybara.
It does. It does a lot. So Ron, what rodent would you like to dance with?
How about just a common squirrel?
Common squirrel. That'd be great to dance with a squirrel.
Yeah.
It
Like-
would be pretty awesome.
In that scene in The Sword and the Stone where they're dancing in the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a strangely hot scene.
Right?
Um,
Oh, sorry.
acid?
Kevin,
I'm learning things.
Please save us
about
from
my
the
wife.
fandom. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with. You know what? They look adorable. They take dust baths. I'm gonna go with the chinchilla.
Oh,
ooh,
that's a good one.
And they make
chinchilla's really
coats.
good.
They soft.
So we can make a coat for the capybara.
Do you know how many chinchillas that would take? Let's not do that math. It's sad math.
It's sad math.
No harm to animals.
No harm to animals. It's one of our things. No harm to animals.
Wait, what? I thought they just shaved them. Are you guys telling me? Do I not know something about the fur industry?
No, you just shave them and then you put them in a bag and then you weave it together. It's totally fine. Everything's all right.
They do that at the farm upstate where the dogs go. Right? Right?
Right?
Poor Kevin.
Right?
That's when they get to cross the rainbow bridge to get there.
You didn't get the Rainbow Bridge?
Good Lord, Bree.
So, no harm to animals. No animals were harmed in the making of Cancel City.
Nope.
Sounds good. I will use one of those three instead of scorpions, and it'll make everything a lot more adorable.
Yes.
And for the life of me right now, I can't decide which one because all of them sound awesome for different reasons.
You know, we are talented. We like to.
Yes, yes, you are.
We can choose fun rodents. Not a single one of us chose a rat.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I want to change my answer.
You all, that's part of the game. I'm just going to say that as part of the game. We can change whatever we want, and I like all of this. I think I'm going to go with chinchillas because it's the funniest.
It is.
It's fun to say.
And I think that a chinchilla whisperer is just great to me. And I think we're just going to do that. So, I'm going to just add that. It's going to be chinchillas. I'm going to choose chinchillas, and we'll go forward, everyone. I think other than that, we're all set for that. I'm going to just hit the intro and we will dive into playing it. But before I do that, I want to explain a little bit about the system we're using. So Vessel is the adventure game. It uses a kind of lottery-based role-playing game system. We've all tested it a little bit here. But in short, you make a character, you put tags inside of a vessel, and then the goal is to pull a number of tags that are successful. If you pull any failure tags, they count as nothing. Anything that is not a failure counts as a success. Your goal is to accumulate as many successes as you can, and depending on how good you are at a thing, that is directly related to how many tags you pull from your vessel. Skills help add a little bit extra to what you're pulling from your vessel in order to hopefully pull enough successes to succeed. Any questions again about the rules before we dive in?
No.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I don't know if there's any.
You want to
We're good.
We're good? All right, okay. Okay, I think we'll take a break in about an hour, I say, and then we should be okay. Does anyone want anything to do before we take a break? Before we do that, anything? All right.
You make sure we're recording?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
recording.
Good, just
Being sure. It's good, we're good.
I may have not one time.
That can happen. I've done it too. I did it during like the last episode of like a 6-month-long game.
Oh no.
And all the energy that just happened this week. It made me sad.
Oh.
So, we've arrived at Cancel City. In the grand world of the collective, Cancel City is the place where ideas live. Characters walk the streets from media long past and short-lived. Sidekicks from bad buddy cop films sit in coffee shops with bad podcast hosts and old high school mascots. The streets are packed with failed wrestling icons and cartoon villains, passing children's drawings and marketing campaigns for bacon-scented body wash. In all the collective consciousness, there's no greater collection of discarded ideas and creations than this crawling metropolis of miscreants. Amongst them, we are able to meet Celluloid God 99, A tall, lanky fellow with sullen eyes and pale skin, Celly is the online persona of a real man named Theo, a film critic in the real world who gave up on his failing YouTube career. However, here in the collective, Celluloid God 99 lives on as a social worker, doing his best to give failed films the attention they deserve. And here, we should talk about attention. Attention or tenors are locally called, as the currency of Kansas City. They show up as little green notes with eyes in varying degrees of being open or shut to indicate value. These tenors do everything in Kansas City, from pay for lodging to buying food or travel. Attention is everything, and while many decisions on the collective acquired and invested their attention well, many are not so fortunate. Celly had a conversation with his landlord, Melanie Fisher, a player in the film Strike, that had a lot of confusion about whether or not it was a baseball or bowling film by the time production hit. Holding her box that may or may not have had their cat Schrody inside, they discussed Celly's tentative stay in the complex. Sensing something was off, Celly pushed to see what was the matter with Melanie, who then confirmed that her complex was being pressured by the other apartments owned by the how-to guides to raise her rent cost for the tenants. Outraged at those clickbait tycoons, Celly worked with Melanie to develop some sort of merit or scholarship program so that she can both raise the rent but keep some rooms set aside for characters that just needed to get back on their feet. To do that, Celly would need some quick cash in order to kick it off properly, and he began thinking of ways to get the eyes to do it. Meanwhile, in the heart of a dying newspaper, we meet Daisy Lockstep, a side character in the sitcom named Happy Times. Daisy was played as a cozy, no-frills kind of office assistant with a dull personality and a quiet demeanor. The show was due to reveal her character as quirky and fun in Season 3, showcasing her collection of origami cranes that she made from discarded reports and little red panda figurines that she made by hand. She was scheduled to get edgier and more exciting, but instead, the show was canceled in Season 2 due to the unfortunate passing of the show's protagonist. So now, she sits in an unflattering dress on unrealized dreams, filling out reports in a dying newspaper. Her boss, a literal bear, without even the ability to speak, has piled more work on her desk, and she is the only one in the company who can literally do any of it. Her workflow is interrupted by an email by Virginia J. Colebottom, the protagonist of her show. She wrote to complain about the fact that a cabinet that Virginia had bought for Daisy was up on eBay. Virginia bought a very boring house for Daisy that thought it matched her taste. It's extremely boring decor, and Virginia gets very insulted anytime Daisy moves to try to change it. Daisy's annoyance is elevated to rage when her boss, the bear, confirms that he too got an email from Virginia reminding her that the job she got was also a present from the former protagonist. Daisy quietly accepts the reprimand and accidentally breaks the head from one of her red panda dolls. One day, she's going to get enough money to buy her own house back from her benefactor and decorate it bright pink with macrame and enough boho to last a lifetime. And so, the two find themselves in a blimp, high above the ocean of the collective consciousness. The mayor Isekai ran on a platform of helping with the overpopulation of Kansas City and began an initiative to send residents from the city out into shows on the brink of being canceled, to do what they can do to save them. Both Celly and Daisy meet each other on assignment and review the case that they are looking at trying to save. The show, whose name now I have to come up with a new one, we're going to say Chinchilled.
I was going to say Chinchilli. But
Chinchilli. Is it in
lace.
Cincinnati now?
Chinchilli lace.
Chinchilli lace. Why Chinchilli lace?
With a pretty face and a ponytail.
She's making a song reference.
Ah.
To Chantilly lace.
Yeah. Chubby Checkers?
We're going to go with...
I mean, that feels bad. I'm more of a intellectual, so it's more like fat chest.
We're going to go with Chinchilla Lace. About a man who can speak with chinchillas and use that to solve crime. It's a detective show
Keeps
about a
murdering
man.
people in front of these chinchillas.
He's just sending chinchillas into places. It's adorable, but perhaps lacks substance. However, as you all confirmed, a lot of the cast members are super hot. So a lot of the show really is about people like trying to decide who's going to get with who, etc.
Fanfic.
It's set in Arizona, but the rating shook a sharp decline after Chinchilla Lace. Oh, I need a good chinchilla punny name for him now. We're going to call him Michael Scruff. Michael Scruff's right-hand man, Clyde, took an unexpected dive as they found that he had been killed. Daisy, doing some research, noticed that in one of the reports, it was confirmed that there have been at least 3 other teams of sweepers who have come here, who have jobs similar to yours, who have also disappeared. Worse yet, they all have mysteriously been killed off-screen. But the show is currently in danger because the main character, the secondary character, this Clyde, has been killed on screen.
Ooh.
Or at least his body was found on screen. Disturbing, Celly, also looking through the reports and things, realized that each team disappeared when they tried to begin looking to where the protagonist's ability to speak with chinchillas came from. And a plan begins to form as Celluloid Guide 99 asks Daisy if she'd like to make a new report. And so, let's begin. You all were told to meet at the clock tower. That is a central place that used to not be on screen, but now has been because it's where the body was found. And you all are meant to go there to meet up with some of the cast members to try to talk about what your plan is to save the show. And so we will hop in. It's hot. It's so hot in Arizona. I don't know if you all have ever been to Arizona, but if you set a glass down on the table and you pick it up again, it doesn't matter how cold that thing is in the glass, there's no condensation on the table. It's so hot there. That's me with personal revenge. Arizona, I visited there. It was way too hot. But you all are... I think because the blimp drops you off at the edge of the island, you all had traveled across the sea of collective consciousness and landed, and have started, unfortunately, walking towards the clock tower that is in the center of this island. And it's very hot. It's terrible. And you all are making your way across the streets. There's, the gravel lawns that you're walking by with the little plants that stick out from them, and you get to a center. It looks like kind of an open circle, as though there's maybe a street that curves around this clock tower in a circle, but it looks like it's the center of this small town. It's where people meet up and talk. And you all know that the protagonist kind of lives in this. Michael Scruff lives in the tower. It's been alluded to many times that Michael Scruff lives in the tower, but no one knows why or how he ended up with a room there. But you all are supposed to meet him there. As you all step into this area, I would like all of you to start us off by pulling for mind. And I'm going to have all 3 of you pull for mind to see what you see as you get in.
Okay, my mind is 2, so I'm pulling 2 sticks.
Correct.
Tags. Sorry, tags.
Tags. Sticks, tags. In this case, they're sticks.
Same.
Ditto. I got a mind one, so that's double, right?
Correct. That's a critical success.
And then I got a failure.
Okay, so that's 2 successes for Daisy.
I pulled 2. I got a 1 heart and 1 failure.
Okay, that's 1 for Celly.
I pulled 1, and I got 1 mind.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's nice. That's 2. So I think this is what happens. As you step in, I think it's just really, really hot. And so Celly is doing his best to kind of shade himself.
He's used to like air-conditioned movie theaters.
Uh-huh. And this is the opposite of that.
And Daisy's very uncomfortable because she has to dress like a business lady all the time. So she's in like a wool like business suit. And so it's very clear that it's not made for the hot Arizona weather.
Correct. As you both are looking around, I would say, Celly, you would notice there seems to be like a parking lot that is near the tower itself, and there is a vehicle that is parked there.
Okay.
As though somebody is inside. But there's only the one. There's only one vehicle on the parking lot, and it is quite small. However, I will say, Daisy, as you're looking around in this square as well, you can see the one vehicle, but you also see there is a shadow moving inside of one of the rooms in the clock tower. And I think you know you are supposed to meet someone here, but you do see someone moving back and forth up there. But also, you notice as you're looking around in this square, there's a couple, there's a bank you'd see across. There's a couple offices that are from a lawyer of some kind. But on the other side of the clock tower, you can see there's a small bakery. And sitting at one of the seats at the bakery, you can see there is a gentleman that seems to be watching you all very closely.
Okay.
And you do notice them as they begin to walk into this center, and you're able to step out if you like and introduce yourself or not. And you can kind of watch them, but you do see, both of you see that you both see each other.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to take my giant binoculars and put them down. And then I'm going to go meet them.
Sounds good. And I think this is a great time for everyone to describe what your character looks like, right? Just if somebody were to see you on the street in this setting, right? It's hot, it's terrible. In this setting, if they saw you, what would you look like? We'll start with Daisy.
So, like I said earlier, Daisy is wearing a wool business suit. It's gray, and then her shirt underneath it is off-white.
Okay.
In the heat, she has a fine sheen of sweat, despite the fact that it's so hot. That tells you how warm she actually is. And her hair, which she did have fairly well done, is now limp. And she is pulling at her clothes, trying to get some airflow.
Do you take the jacket off of your suit?
And then she finally realizes, I can take my jacket off. So she takes her jacket off and she throws it over her arm and then thinks, now my arm's warm. But I guess at least I have a little more airflow.
That's always the problem of carrying a jacket. I know that vibe.
Yeah. And putting it around your waist, I mean, that's just going to be restrictive. So
yeah, it'll crease it, weird because you need it unwrinkled and stuff. When you
she
get to where
does
you're going.
consider throwing it away in the trash can in the circle, but, that was a tenner.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Maybe just sell it when you get back.
Yeah.
Celly.
So Celly looks like a tall meat scarecrow, just pale and drenched in sweat. He's wearing a graphic tee that says it's film, not movies. Just like a pretentious, snooty guy opinion. He's also got he's got layers because he's just he just looks a little greasy, like a little unkempt. That's part of why the YouTube channel never took off, is that he's just wild-eyed a little bit and not doing well in the heat. He's got a kind of a manic demeanor. He's looking around trying to figure out where there's shade or where a multiplex is.
Certainly. There is some shade, I will say, because probably near the bakery. There's a little awning that you could take.
Oh, can I roll to see if there's a mister?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, you know that.
Mister, like it. Miss.
Oh, like a thing that sprays little.
Yeah.
Give me just a flat pull. One stick. If it's a success, there's a mister.
Okay.
I thought you meant like a mister, like a dude.
Okay, that's mine. That's a critical.
That's awesome. So there's a nice mister. It's like one. It's not like a small one. It's like a full size fan.
Okay.
And it's just. Psh.
I'm gonna go stand under that thing, and I'm gonna do like just greasy internet troll dweller like hair toss, like Ursula Andrews getting out of the water.
And it kind of smacks to the side of your face.
Yeah.
100%. As you both, and you find this mister, you're like, totally,
Yeah, I'm down for this.
And as it's blowing hard and just kind of relaxing you all from walking here, because you all were not provided cars because you're not paid that well.
Or water, basic.
Stuff.
Survival.
Out walks Elle. And Elle, what do you look like as you approach?
He's a very confident stride. He's wearing a 3-piece white suit with sequins. Aviator glasses. Hair is shoulder length. And he's chewing gum. And he's muttering to himself. Yeah, but it's just like things like, I don't know, it just what he looks like. You're talking about what he's saying? Do you want to know what he's saying?
You can. Yeah, what is he saying? Let's do it.
He's just saying things like, he hates us, the humanity and society for what they did to him and stuff. So he's just like, whatever he sees, he's just like diminishing them and talking about how nobody respects him and stuff.
I can't believe street of these people. Did I just curse? I didn't just curse, did I?
I didn't hear it.
I hope not.
We'll bleep it out in post.
Cool.
And he does have cowboy boots, so when he walks, he's got like the stuff
Cha-ching,
down.
cha-ching, cha-ching.
Spurs.
Does he
he's
have
never ridden a horse?
So out of this bakery walks Elle, and you all see him, and he begins to walk over towards you all. Now, you all were told you were supposed to meet someone on site who had been working here already. But this person seems confidently striding up to both of you as you all are standing out in the street, and I'll let this interaction play out.
Daisy.
Yeah.
Look, it's tell me I look cool right now, because if you look, don't look.
Okay.
But look at your 3:00.
Okay.
It is Elle. He started in the best postmodern deconstruction of celebrity and vengeance that I've ever seen. Like, if it was a Venn diagram of ass kicking and film theory, he would be the center.
Let me have you pull for mind and film. I think you have both of those, right?
Yeah.
Because films are like obscure films are like Celly's jam.
So I get to pull 3.
You get to pull 3.
All right. Ooh. Okay.
Jeez.
Whoa.
That's
Jeez.
2 minds.
So
4,
and then 1. Success or 1 skill.
So that's 6.
6.
Dang.
That's the highest you all can pull right now.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I pulled it, not during an important moment, but during a, do I recognize a man?
You not only recognize this man, I'm gonna let you describe where he comes from, because you know it so well. Or I could just tell you outright every detail of it.
Daisy. Daisy. Look at that smooth confidence with which he walks. That is how you make a trained killer walk. The movie had no exposition.
It just jumped right into it?
It assumed you knew. It really tackled the mythos of Elvis, and each punch and karate chop he threw was a metaphor for the rise and fall of celebrity in American society.
Okay.
Oh my God, Daisy.
Yes.
He did a backflip and snapped Ringo Starr's neck. with one hand, which isn't even possible, but it's what Elvis would do. It's L. Daisy.
Yes.
Daisy.
Yeah.
Daisy.
Yes.
Daisy.
Uh-huh.
Do I look cool enough to go meet L?
Never. But I think that might be our contact, so we probably should.
I try to like slick back my hair and make it look a little bit like a pompadour. Like I try to model it off. I'm like looking at you. I can't do it.
Hi. My name is Daisy.
Oh, hi, Daisy.
I think we're here for you.
Well, is that so? You guys,
Can I want to reach out and just try to touch him.
I smack your hand.
You all know, like, you 100% know that the show did not do well in the box offices at all, but it mostly because the main character wasn't really good at being Elvis, and they couldn't afford any of the songs of Elvis. But he's right here, and Celly is 100% in love with this guy, like 100%.
We said flirting was okay, right?
Flirting is 100% okay. Yes, it is. I want to clarify also, just because you would know this, and I want to give it to you. The show got canceled for that reason, but the show was about Elvis being an assassin, killing the Beatles. And they went to just a pagoda. Like you said, there was no exposition in it at all. There were the 4 levels for the 4 different Beatles, and he was supposed to... He just killed all of them on each level going up.
Daisy, it was... Please tell me, what was going to happen in the sequel? A Hard Day's Fight 2, Hey Judo.
well, obviously I wrote the script. I also started the movie. And this is where we're going to go into 70s and 80s rock and roll and... Take down Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and then it was going to get really involved with the fight in Fleetwood Mac, and I was going to sleep with both Stevie Nicks and Mick Fleetwood. I got really caught up in the sexual politics of that time period, and I think one thing led to another, and then I became a Twitter meme, and I don't know. I was doing a lot of drugs at the time, trying to figure out this plot.
But is it true that it was part of a rumored trilogy? The last one was going to be called A Hard Day's Fight 3. Edge of 17 Swords.
Yes. Then we got in the 90s, actually, and it just continued on, and I was actually responsible for killing all the members of Nirvana, and it got really into Elvis in Seattle and Lazarini, and then I invented Starbucks.
This is...
Are you
Keep it together, Celly.
Are you touching? What's happening? Right? Why are you touching yourself?
PG.
He's wiping the tears from his eyes.
That's it.
It's the misters. The misters are so powerful here. I'm not crying. You're crying.
I had a 4th movie planned too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when I got into 2000s, into the 2000s, and the 2010s, and the plot just got away from me, and it's just Elvis being really sad about 9/11.
Were you gonna tackle Toby Keith, courtesy of the red, white, and black and blue?
Exactly. Dixie Chicks were involved in the whole thing.
They said goodbye, L.
Goodbye, L.
I feel like
Can you
Can
you do your catchphrase from that movie? Because can you say it's time for you to eat a hunk of burning fist?
Oh.
He's getting into character.
It's time for you to eat a hunk of burning fist. They said I wasn't very good in the movie. I've been working on my impression.
They were wrong. They didn't understand what you were trying to do. You were
Okay.
trying to... Oh, yeah, we're supposed to solve murders.
I mean, I am really excited for you to fanboy, but can we do it off the clock, please?
Did you do the murders? Because I'm totally cool with it if you did them.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Hi. Once again, I'm Daisy.
Hello.
It's very nice to meet you, Elle.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Wait, what's our first steps here? Because you are clearly the person that's been here the longest, that is a sweeper, like we are. And, we're a little out of our depth. It's our first time being a sweeper. Mm-hmm. And we just want to be able to support and figure out what's happened to our other teams. I'm not super emotionally invested in it, but I do need some tenors because my old boss is kind of a...
Kind of a...
Yeah.
That actually reminds me of a song that I don't have a copyright to. So.
I'm sorry to bring up past traumas.
No, it's all right. It's all right. By the way, would you like any fresh powdered donuts? This baker's very good.
I might take an iced coffee if you are buying.
All right. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Go ahead and pull for mind for me. And go ahead and add assassin. And we'll just see what information you've been able to gather since you've been here. So go ahead and pull 2, because you have a 1 in mind, but you also have 1 in assassin. It kind of helps with snooping. That's 2...
Too blank.
2 failures.
Here's what I know about the case.
Uh-huh.
Listen, they put something in front of me, and I'm not very good at reading.
I'm really good at reports. Perhaps I could read the document that you were provided and get some more information for the 3 of us.
All right, here you go.
It's
got a lot of jelly on it. I was having some jelly donuts at this bakery.
It's an autopsy report.
Ooh, spicy. So can I pull
You can.
for
Go ahead and
that?
pull for mind. Go ahead and add reports to it.
Awesome.
Go ahead and put those back in as well.
I popped the top.
That's fine.
All right. I've got a heart, and a failure, and a mind.
Oh!
Yeah.
It's 3 successes.
That's 3.
So, as you're looking through this autopsy report, you get a bunch of information, but it seems like the information isn't all the way lining up. But you're able to read through the lines a little bit, right? First off, cause of death was lacerations. Seems to be multiple lacerations. And you're able to confirm that most of them were probably done by an implement that is a couple of inches wide. And there are also scratch marks all over the victim. Very clearly, this piece of information was not in the original port that you were given when you were on the blimp on the way here, as though perhaps this was hidden, because you all for some reason the autopsy of the body was not in the report. You looked through it thoroughly and it wasn't there. This looks as though whatever killed the person was probably a swarm of small biting creatures.
I share this information with my coworkers, letting them know all the details I just read in this autopsy report, because I'm good at reports.
Very good. It's in the report.
It's in the report.
But yes,
That's
you all are
my
given the information.
catchphrase.
Now, you know that the clock tower you're heading to is the place at which the protagonist lives. And you know that's also the place where the body was found. And you're also meant to meet up with someone there.
So we have a second someone we're meeting up with.
You don't know who's in the clock tower right now.
Gentlemen.
If you were gonna kill a person, you wouldn't do it cowardly with rodents. You would use your bare hands, right?
That is correct. I'm a trained killer, and these hands are loaded weapons.
They are.
Speaking of which, this bakery's got some great loaded French fries. If you guys wanted to get back there.
How do you want? You want me to go? You guys, you want some? We can get. Let's see if they got
okay.
to go.
Okay. Can I ask you a quick question, Elle? Have you been sponsored by this bakery? Is it a sponsor for the TV show? Is that why we keep talking about it?
Listen, it's really hard to finance a movie these days. All right, and, luckily with Bilkins Bakery, who provides excellent coffee and oddly enough, French fries.
Oddly enough, I think if we're in Arizona, there's a chance this could be that Amy's Cakes from Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that was a good reference.
I don't know, but we'll be there.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm writing Bilkins Bakery though. It seems to just have rolled off the tongue, so we're here now. You look at Bilkins Bakery, you can see it has those like very clearly red and white stripes over the awning that's nearby, and you can see there's a collection of like donuts, right? That at first they're lined up in the windows, but then next to that is a deep fryer, and there's just a person standing there. He's like, he'll fry some donuts, pull them out, and then just fry some French fries right in the same oil, and just pull those out, and it seems to be just tossing them. And he's in the window, like he'll put powdered sugar on some of the donuts, powdered sugar on some of the fries, toss them around, and he's just like having a great time frying things out in the open air.
Why do I picture him with octopus arms doing this?
Sure.
I like the idea that for Elle, loaded French fries isn't like savory; it's a sweet snack.
It's loaded with strawberry jam and powdered sugar right on the French fries.
You know what's good with your sweets? Starch.
You know
great.
what? Food is just a vessel for condiments.
And do you all
done.
head
We're
to the
scene.
tower? I think that's scene. I think we're at scene.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do before you head off? Because you know, with this information, it means going there might be dangerous.
Can we? Did the report say anything about who the chinchilla tamer was, the animal trainer on set?
Oh, that doesn't exist here.
Okay.
Because you all are in the fiction and not in the thing that the people are making.
Oh, there's
the
no
fiction.
animal wrangler.
You could try to research who the animal wrangler would have been.
Because I wanna interrogate these chinchillas.
Give me, because you have the original file. Go ahead and give me just a flat mind check.
Okay.
And we'll see if you can find that information.
All right, I got a heart and a mind.
So 3.
It's 3. You know that while Michael Scruff is the protagonist, Amelia Fang is the one who takes care of them better. Amelia Fang is kind of the sidekick detective in the movie. She's like the hard edge, like, no nonsense person. The people found... There's a little bit of...
there's camaraderie there.
There's a little bit. But it was very clear that while Michael Scruff can communicate with chinchillas, he's not necessarily good at taking care of them.
Okay.
And so this side character kind of like couldn't stand to see the chinchillas in a bad way, and actively would like go buy chinchilla food and make sure to clean all their cages and stuff like that. So you know that Amelia Fang in the film is the one who would actually be the one taking care of the animals.
Okay. I immediately like connect with her soul and feel like I want to meet her.
Cool.
But I have a question. Were we given enough of a budget for this project to get more appropriate clothing for the weather?
I would say no. Because in this project, they're not exactly anticipating you all surviving.
Okay. They don't want to invest in us. I see how it is. All right. Well,
you can spend some of your own money.
No. That would be the antithesis of what we're doing here.
I've spent it all on loaded French
French
fries.
fries? What's stupid is now I want some.
And I'm kind of
What's
just
dumb
trying
is
to,
now I want it.
I'm just trying to hint that, like, hey, Elle, if you want some of these, they're here for you.
Are you giving them as tribute?
No, I'm like, these are for the table. And then if Daisy reaches one, I'm like, not the whole table.
I'm just sitting back with my iced coffee that Elle got me, and I nod at him.
It's good.
Yeah.
Have a solid coffee.
This is great.
Yeah, it is a good bakery. They are good at what they do.
I'm not even getting paid by Bilkins, and I want to hype for them.
You can see why Bilkins immediately was like, yeah, and Elle immediately started chilling for him. It's good. It's a good spot.
Yeah. So gentlemen, I feel like we may want to, okay, we have 2 routes. We could go straight to the clock tower and see who's milling around in there, check out the scene where the body was found, or we could go see if we could find Amelia Fang. I vote for that one because she sounds amazing. But since there are 3 of us, we could vote, and whichever one gets the most, we could do.
Well, as Elle, I'm truly patriotic and I love to vote. So let's do that.
However Elle votes is how I'm voting.
Do you say that out loud, Celly?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a secret ballot.
Daisy just rolls her eyes.
Don't make me look bad in front of Elle.
I mean, I have no, connection to you, so why shouldn't I?
Good. Play up the not knowing me thing. You're making me look bad in front of Elle.
What are you guys thinking of this gun?
He just has a gun.
I thought
It's the coolest. Can I get one like him, Daisy? Daisy, give me a loan so I can get one like him.
No. I have plans for my tenors. I'm just done with this. Daisy she's just gonna make the decision and say, let's just go look where the body was.
All right. Has anyone seen my gun?
I just look around. Has anyone seen this man's gun? We have a gun missing. Check. Sometimes
Everybody pull from mind, please.
Sometimes children take them. Everyone check to see if your child has a gun.
I got 1 in heart.
It's a success?
I got 1 body.
I got 1.
Oh wait,
Mind. So you
yeah,
want
so you get to pull 2. I got 1 heart and 1 failure.
Cool.
Come on. Failure.
Cool. You all notice that there's a rat that kind of pulls itself, is looking at the gun, and it just kind of just shakes its head and then pulls itself back into the sewer. But it's just near the drain. It's just sitting there on the ground. I have no idea how you managed to get it there, but that's where it is now.
Okay.
Did you try to swipe it and it fell?
No, it's. I think it's a commentary on America's lax gun culture. This metaphor goes deep. It's layers. You wouldn't understand. It's Fellini-esque.
Elle, your gun is over there. Can you go get it and we can get moving?
Yeah. All right.
Look at how he moves like a stalking jungle cat.
He just walks.
It's like a pig. It's silent. I'm just hearing the spurs just clink, clink,
Clink, clink, clink.
He just moves of a trained ninja.
I look at you and say, he's wearing all white, so he's probably a snow leopard, not a jungle cat.
In the movie, he did all of his own stunts. It showed.
You retrieve your gun and head towards the clock tower. I'm very happy. You start moving that way. You don't have a car, so you just start walking. It's not very far, though. It'll take about 5-10 minutes. And you get to the base of the clock tower that seems to go up not very high. It's like a 3-story tall building. But it just kind of is looking in the middle of this square, and you can hear it kind of just like quietly just ticking, right?
Okay.
It's still very large. You can still hear the but it doesn't seem to disturb the environment around. And there is a door. Door looks like it has like a little it's a little chinchilla knocker on it.
Oh.
It's like a little knocker, but it has a chinchilla sitting on top of the knocker.
I love that so
It
much.
seems to be carved of wood. What do y'all do?
Daisy thinks in her mind, I gotta get me one of those for my upgrade. I pull out the report of the crime scene
Okay.
and try to find the space in which the body was found so we can get a good look around.
3rd floor.
Oh, I look and I see it was in the 3rd floor, not outside of the clock tower. And I inform these gentlemen that that's the case.
Then Elle goes, do you think I could take the Incredible Hulk?
In a fight or a battle of wits? Or the answer is yes to both.
All right. In that case, I think we should look around.
Okay.
Before heading up, you want to look around before you try to knock on the door? Just kind of go around the building, give it a once over?
Are we surveying the perimeter? Oh my God, we're surveying the perimeter.
Oh my gosh. I
always wanted to
kind
do
of
this part.
suggested that.
Don't try to take Elle's ideas.
Are all 3 of you surveying the perimeter? Any of you knocking? Or are you just going to...
I just had an idea.
Okay.
What if I kick down this door?
No.
I kind of want to see it.
I know you do. Okay.
Quick, Elle, use me as a battering ram.
You could, but the question is, do any of you want to do survey or you want to crash through?
Okay, so I would suggest that we do a quick look around the base of the clock tower, see if perchance there's an alternate route to get inside.
Okay.
And then that way we can know that, know whether or not the one inhabitant or whomever went into the clock tower, whether or not that was the only way they could get in, because there may be more potential suspects if there's a sneaky route.
All right, and I have an idea. Let's check an alternate route and see if there's an alternate way in that maybe a suspect had done.
Elle, you're a genius.
All right.
Everybody please pull from behind.
Nice that the patriarchy is alive and well in this.
I got nothing. I got blank.
Yep.
You said mine?
Sounds right. Yep.
Oh, I got 2 minds.
Jeez.
I did too.
Jeez.
Well, no, I got 1 mind, so 2
total.
2 total.
Did you get 2 total or 2?
4 total.
4 total. Okay. You start looking around the building, and you specifically looking for like exits, entrances, things like that. With a 2 in mind, you were able to notice that there is a window, but the window seems on the 2nd floor.
Okay.
Looks like it kind of lets light into perhaps if somebody was working on the cogs of the clock or something like that. There's also a window on the 3rd floor that looks like it is whoever is living here, probably where they actually live, is probably up there. 1st floor, though, seems pretty vacant, right? There's no walls or entrances in or out, which means if someone were to leave, they'd have to jump out at least a 2nd-story window.
Okay.
With 4, you realize that there's also like a rain spout that seems to be going as well. As you're looking at it, it's like all the way up to the top of the roof of this building, right? And it looks like it's like thick, maybe a foot or so wide, but it's just probably used to just funnel all of the rain from the top down to it and down and into the sewers below. It looks as though if you were particularly strong or smart or something, you could scale it up to the roof, right? If you grabbed it and climbed it. As you're looking at other possible entrances or exits, but that would depend on whether or not there is a entrance from the roof. But that would be, you'd have to scale it and find out.
Daisy,
Yes.
can you let Elle stand on your shoulders so he can reach that second floor window?
I mean, maybe we should just try to see if we can go inside and investigate through the normal door. Plus, I really, really want to use the chinchilla knocker.
I got this grappling hook.
How about this? Why don't you two try scaling the downspout, and I will go knock the knocker.
All right.
No, you can play with your knockers.
PG.
PG.
What? It's chinchillas. That was my one. All right. I get to be alone with Elle.
Can you handle it, bud?
I just turned to Daisy and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for this step.
Okay, well, you can either do that or you can come knock a chinchilla with me.
Oh, both of those sound great. I'm gonna go with Elle.
Okay.
Okay. So the two of you step around the back of the building, looking up. It is daytime right now, but you all are looking at this downspout that goes all the way up to the top, assessing how you're going to get up there. You have a grappling hook. You have the spout. You can use either one if you wanted to. I'll let you all think about what you're doing there. We're going to go back around to the front door.
All right.
As you get to the front door, again, there's a few small shrubs on either side of the door. You can see there's not really a gutter or anything here, right? It seems like whatever it is puts all the water there. So there's not anything that's at the front.
Okay.
And as you walk up, you can see there's a few plants, and there's that a beautiful wooden door with that little knocker on it.
I am excitedly using the knocker.
And we zoom in. The knocker is very... Oh, it sounds weird to say that loud. Oh, I caught myself. It's very well made. Right? It looks like somebody spent a lot of time crafting it.
Okay.
And you hear, 1 second.
Okay.
And then you hear heavy footfalls
Okay.
come down the stairs. Door opens, and you see a young woman. She's maybe in her mid-20s. She's a Latina woman. She has black hair that she's pulled back into a bun that is like, not a bun, but a ponytail. But the ponytail has very curly hair on the other side of it. And she is wearing very clearly a police uniform. That is very well pressed, very well taken care of, and she stands as straight as the starched lines in her jeans. And she opens the door. Can I help you?
I stare at her, stunned, because I recognize her.
You do.
It's Amelia. And I kind of stutter out, hi, I'm Daisy. Do they know that we're there to investigate?
You know that the main cast was told that sweepers were due to arrive.
Okay, cool. I'm Daisy. I'm part of the new sweepers team.
Understood.
I hear that there was a body found here.
There was on the 3rd floor.
Could I perchance look at that area?
You can. Are you alone?
Temporarily. They may be meeting us on the 3rd floor. I'm unsure at this point. I don't know how to explain what happened. It's I'm still processing, and now I have you in front of me, and Are
they conducting an independent investigation?
They are indeed, Amelia. Yes, you phrased that so perfectly.
Understood.
So I would love to go and take a look, and if we don't get them shortly, then I will go and track them down.
I will help.
Okay, thank you.
Come in.
Awesome.
And she turns around. She walks. She seems. It's a strange mix of very kind, but very strict. Right? And she is walking right ahead of you, and she's like stomping up the stairs. But as you step inside, you can see the first floor looks like it's mostly storage, right? There's a couple of bags, and you can see there are even 2 or 3 large cogwheels that are against the walls. That seems to be replacements for bits, and you are able to look up and see the rest of the clock tower above you.
Okay.
As you start heading up the stairs, it looks like after the second floor, it's basically like a flat platform, and basically whatever is above is there. And even as you start getting close, you can start to smell dust and animal dander.
I sneeze. That was a good sneeze.
Thank you.
I feel
Some
like
excellent Foley work. I feel like we all got to step up our game now.
I feel like that's exactly how a chinchilla would sneeze for some reason.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
You step right on up, and as you go up the stairs and into the room, it looks like a living room. Doesn't look like it's very big. It looks like it has probably a restroom off into one side.
Okay.
But it's mostly just a restroom and a room.
Okay, so like
Right.
a studio apartment. Almost.
Yes. So there's not really a separate kitchen,
Okay.
but the room is still very big, right? It's maybe twice the size of this room,
Okay.
maybe more even, because it's the whole circumference of this clock tower wide,
Okay.
right? So it's a very large room, but you can see that there's a part that is sectioned off that has like a television and some other things. You can see that the decor in here is bad.
Okay.
It's like bachelor pad bad.
Okay.
Right? And you can tell this is probably not where Amelia stays. But you can see that there's like a couple of magazines off to the side. It looks like some of them are maybe inappropriate, but they're kind of stacked with the most tasteful one on top. You can see that there's a TV that seems it's taken care of super well, but nothing else is. And the kitchen seems almost entirely bare off to the side, and it's not really a kitchen. There's no oven because of the weight. It's really just like a hot plate and a microwave and a couple other things that have been cleaned. But probably the thing that draws your attention the most is the chinchilla wall, and it's just a wall that's like if it's a circle at the top, half of the circle is where people are living, and the other half is where the chinchillas are living.
Oh.
And it's just like platforms nailed into the walls. There's like a couple of spots for them to rest. There's little baskets. There's things all the way up and down the walls and to climb on and play in. And there are maybe 20 chinchillas in this place alone. And they're just all different colors and shapes. Some of them are a little bigger than the others, and they're just kind of running around. And there's no cages in sight. They just seem to be running around playing.
Interesting.
Amelia is like, as soon as he gets up here, kind of like moves as one runs underneath her feet, and she, and then steps over towards the kitchen. Can I get you anything?
Actually, one, can you throw away my iced coffee cup that I finished?
Of course.
And 2, may I have a glass of water? It's kind of warm here.
Certainly. And she goes over to, there is a sink. The kitchen is not very far from the bathroom. You think they kind of worked the water together, right? But she kind of starts getting you some water and things like that. And she points to the living room side near where the, there's like a couch, right? And she's like, the body was found on the couch. And she starts getting some water. Before you begin your investigation, let's head back outside, shall we?
I love it.
So outside, you two are at the back of a building, staring up. It's broad daylight, and you look at this drain pipe that's coming down the side of the building, and you can see, like, there's, it's about 3 floors up. Elle, you've fallen from higher, right? Just legit fallen from higher up than that. So you're not super scared about the height, but it's up to you all. What do you all like to do?
I'm remembering the scene in A Hard Day's Fight where he tries to ascend the pagoda that the Beatles are holed up in. and I'm singing the song that was playing during that. Mm-hmm. And since none of the music was Elvis music, it's almost like a version of A Little Less Conversation.
Uh-huh.
But the main lyric is please talk less.
Okay.
So instead of a little less conversation, it's like, please talk less.
Yep.
Do more stuff. And I'm, please talk less. Do more stuff. Please talk less. Do a little more stuff.
Why does this song sound familiar to me?
It's from that hit moment, and it was so good because you threw a grappling hook up, and it latched onto a guy. It latched, and you hurled yourself, and it was really this beautiful analogy for how the working man supports his heroes, and then you got to the top, and you karate chopped through him.
Mm-hmm.
Not it went. You had his heart beating, and it wasn't a good. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the effects weren't great, but like, it wasn't about the effects. It was about the effect it had on the heart, not his, the viewer, me. I was the only one in the theater.
Yeah, box office was pretty bad, but yeah, it's so funny he had all that. He took all that from that. I just thought it'd be really badass.
It's sometimes genius is subtle. So I think you're the trained government assassin ninja, #1 pop star. Where are you going to place that grappling hook, and how can I help? Do you need me to sing more or less?
Talk less.
Oh my god, I just got punned.
All right, how about I just throw it up real high and hope it lands on something or someone?
Go ahead and pull for body.
I believe in you.
Add your skill, assassin. Oh, that's nice. That's 2. That's an S. That's 2 already.
And nothing.
Okay, but you have 1 more because you have 2 for body and then 1 more for the skill. Oh, baby.
Oopsie.
That's body. So that's 2 for body and then 2 for the skill, and then 1 failures, which counts as nothing. So that's 4 total. Child's play.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of nooks and crannies on the top of this very decorative clock. You line up a couple of them. You whip it up. It goes around itself a couple of times and then latches onto the rope itself, and you pull it, and it pulls tight. Easy enough. You feel like you can scale this thing easy. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a problem at all.
All right, hop aboard.
I'm going to try to climb into his arms like I'm Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard. And then I just want you to give me that look of like, what's happening? I'm like, oh no, you're right. This is not good. But it feels nice, right?
It's pretty hot out.
I just climb on your back now and just smell your hair.
Pull for body as you climb and bring this dude up. Go ahead and pull 3. Because this is a...
Got 1 skill, and then...
Oh, that's body. That's good. That's 3 successes.
As you do this, I'm humming in your ear the theme from when Yoko tried to seduce you, and you
freaking
resist, but you also like know that you've turned her from her evil ways. The song is supposed to be "Can't Help Falling in Love," but it goes, "I would jump off a cliff for you."
That's such a departure, huh?
Can't help falling in love, but you can fall off a cliff for you.
Can you stop singing, man?
I can't.
It's ruining my concentration.
Quietly singing into your ear theme songs, and you feel like you've actively not thought about your movie for a while now. Like, you've been working for a lot of governments, specifically for the mayor, in a very professional capacity since, and have found, like, just kind of doing the work without all of the music and fake associations that were haphazardly slapped onto your life, you've been a lot more successful in general. And this is kind of bringing back some bad memories, some bad vibes of when you were singing while you were chopping people and like playing music while trying to infiltrate a target. You stopped doing that for a long time, and it's just kind of weird him singing into your ear right now. Celly, do me a favor and pull from mind while you're up this thing, as you're keeping an eye out for stuff if you're crawling up. Thank you.
I got a body and a failure.
A body and a failure. So as you're going up it, you just kind of hear something on the inside of the tube. It's kind of a little bit while you're climbing up the thing. That's all you notice. Mostly because you're paying attention very much so to one of your idols that you're very close to.
You're the reason I became what I am. Everything I am, I owe to you. Your movie changed me.
It's like going back and forth of images, of disappointment, of punches, of fists, of I'm barely paying attention. I'm just going like I'm going in and out of like Elvis's biography and all the things that went wrong in his life, and I'm just like I'm kind of like actually having like the equivalent of like an acid flashback right now.
A little bit. And it doesn't feel like a great time to have a trip 3 stories up, but you didn't make it to the top successfully. As you get to the roof,
I'm still not letting go.
Celly's just still on your back. Go ahead and pull for just flatten mind, both of you, as you kind of survey the roof.
So one for mine?
Yeah, just one for you for mind.
Failure.
One failure and one mind.
One success. As you are on the roof, you can see very clearly a couple things. One, there's no way into the building from the roof. There's no roof access at all. But you do see that there is rain that seems to have fallen down here, and it gets collected in a gutter that's around it, and all that collection of water seems to flush down. But you can see that it kind of flushes in a way that goes through the building, you think it goes, instead of just being on the roof, it goes down a little bit into the building and then down back out again to that spout that you all were next to as you climbed up.
Yeah, one time I drank rainwater out of a gutter in Tokyo.
It also is super dry here. He just says that as a sentence, but it's also super dry. Like it very clearly there's not been any rain for a long time.
Okay, can I do any sort of check to see if this you said this gutter runs through the building?
Yeah. It looks like it dips into the building.
Okay.
And then you can see on the side of the building it comes back out and forms a gutter that goes all the way
okay,
down.
so it couldn't be like we could sneak into the building by breaking this spout and
you could break a hole in the ceiling if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Hey, Elle. As much as I would love to die on a sun-scorched roof with you, it's actually I've written several fan fictions about that. I think I know a way in the building. Do you remember in A Hard Day's Fight when John encased himself in that steel armor?
All too well, yeah.
And he He said it was his yellow submarine man armor. Yeah, and he was going to give you the Sergeant Payne Purr's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Oh, yeah.
They actually said yellow waterboat because they didn't have rights to say yellow submarine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yellow U-boat. And you used the dim mock, the death touch on him that you learned from Sensei Chuck at a mall. He taught you the secret art of the 1-inch death punch. Could you use that on this concrete building, clock tower face, to punch your way through? I believe in you.
I haven't used that move in over 10 years.
That movie came out 20 years ago. Who did you use it on?
I need the story.
It was a rough decade, all right? I feel like I was using it every single day, all right? I used to live in a nice hotel and it had a bunch of mirrors. And I was just battling myself a lot of the time. So
Kansas City has a couple of those.
So it kept shattering and it just... I wanted to destroy myself, but it actually just created more of me.
I love this because the only enemy you can't defeat is you. Elle, you're the one.
So, inside the house, you're given ample room to take a look around and investigate. Daisy, what are you looking for?
Well, first, I would like to point out that I hear that they've made to the roof
Yeah, we're getting
successfully.
there. We're about to get there.
Okay. So I look around and I want to, just check out the area that the body was found. I do note that it's a little weird that the crime scene's already open again, and also that I note that there are chinchillas running around, and so that means that they probably were running around at the time of death. So I'm kind of just surveying it, and I assume Amelia at this time has brought me my water.
Yes.
Okay. So I look at her and I say, what can you give me the lowdown from your perspective of what happened here?
She has water. She also has a cold towel that she has provided for you as well, because she knows it's hot outside. Yeah. And she gives you both, and she says, it was a Saturday. I wasn't allowed to work too much on the case because of my personal involvement. I'd worked with Clyde on several occasions. And so they didn't give me the file, which was strange, but I understood that may need to happen. Scruff and I, Scruff hasn't really been the same since, and he's been working nonstop against the orders that we've been given, but he's kind of been a vigilante in the first place, a specialist that we hired in for some of our cases. As far as we could tell, when we arrived here, we actually were coming home. He had a spare key himself, and when we got here, whatever deed had happened had already happened. We could see there were bite marks all over him. His clothes were torn. Give me pull for heart for me.
Failure.
She seems to be a bit stoic.
Okay.
I think that's all you can tell.
So there's a couple things that just from that little piece I've gleaned. One, you and Scruff are each other's alibis for this. Was there anybody else that saw you out and about during the time of the incident?
We were coming from a case, both of us. When we arrived, the body was here.
Okay. And do you know if Clyde had any sort of enemies?
None that we knew. A lot of our story is still being written. There may be some antagonists that we're not entirely aware of, but it seemed pretty straightforward. He was the charming hunk on the team. He would break down doors, things like that, and I was the one who handled all the paperwork.
I feel this in my soul.
It's kind of rough, right? They kind of just... There's a lot of forms when you break someone's door. You have to go through a whole thing because they have to get a new door, and then the city has to pay for the door.
There's the reimbursement.
Right?
The invoicing, finding the correct contractor to meet with the federal standards.
You think they would jiggle the handle? Yeah. Like, even just, is the door open before you just kick it?
Exactly. I feel you.
I'm sorry, that's...
No, please tangent away about any of that kind of stuff. You're in my wheelhouse.
What bothers me very much is I wasn't able to see any of the paperwork for the case. I would have preferred to know a little bit more about what happened, but it seems to have been swept under the rug very quickly. But that's all right. It's okay. Again, I'm quite close, and I understand the situation. I'm probably one of the primary suspects myself because we were the first to arrive on the scene, and time of death would, if they did well in their reports, would put our time of arrival nearby. And while I'm not particularly marked, Scruff is under... Well... She looks around the room. He was under house arrest, but I arrived today and he's not here.
It seems odd that they would put a number one suspect in house arrest in the crime scene. So I'm not sure who's leading the investigation, but they don't do well at reports, I can tell you that. Yep.
It seems very loose. I'm sorry. I should not speak ill of my superiors, but I'm...
They're not mine, so I can.
Please.
Okay. I do want
and you see her, like, step over to the counter, and you see she, like, looks to get some water, and then she's like, no, I'm going to get the hard stuff. And she pulls out gray tea. And she starts boiling the water like, oh, I'm really gonna just get some tea for myself.
Yeah, fully caffeinated. I walk over to her as she's preparing her tea, and I very gently like go to touch her shoulder, and then I think she's a lot like me. She's not gonna want rando people touching her. So I say, on a personal note, I know that these chinchillas mean a lot to you. How have they been post the incident? Because I can imagine them being such feeling and caring animals that they might be a little traumatized by the event that they witnessed.
Pull hard, and I'm going to let you add reports because you share this in common with this lady.
Ooh, I got a mind.
That's one success.
And a failure.
As you are looking at her, none of y'all, I think, are expected to talk to people, really. But we'll deal with that when we get there. You get the feeling that she is not really concerned about Scruff. But when you mention the chinchillas, seems very concerned about them.
Okay.
She says... Yes, they have been quieter since Scruff isn't here really for us to communicate with them directly. We don't know what happened, but I don't want... They're thinking that maybe all the chinchillas need to be put down. And...
A silent tear like rolls down my face.
I can't let that happen.
Okay, so we're gonna we're going to do everything we can to make sure that your chinchillas are safe. My question to you is, I'm unsure of Scruff's skill level in communication with the chinchillas. So I'm not sure if it's full-on conversations or just the impressions of them. Has he been able to speak to them about the incident and glean any sort of information?
There was a few squeaks here and there, but he didn't. I'll be honest. He said he didn't understand them, but I think it wasn't true.
Is that where you get that vibe of the vigilante situation?
Something else is going on, and I know Scruff, he didn't want to say anything, but I'm not entirely sure why. I am worried about him, though, and I was going to go looking for him, but my superiors told me that I couldn't, and told me to stay put and keep an eye on the scene.
Interesting. Once again, your superiors are not my superiors, so perhaps once my partners arrive, we can continue to...
I heard something on the roof.
Yeah, I think they might have
just climbed up on Scruff's roof.
Yeah, there was some thought process to it, and I decided to take the chinchilla knocking on the door route. I do have a question for you, though. Is there roof access? Can they get in via like a portal or something, a doorway?
Not really. And you look up. Pull from mind for me.
Oh, double failure.
You look up and she points, and you can see the roof from here, right? You can see the pipe that comes in from the gutters down out the side of the building. You can see, like, there's a few, like, rafters that are kind of misplaced up there. But, not misplaced, but, like, what is it called?
Truss.
Trusses, right? There's trust up there. But you can see that it is very much so sealed completely.
Okay.
There's no, like, hatch door, nothing like that.
Okay. Amelia, I do have a lingering question in my mind. As the animal caretaker, the chinchilla caretaker, you clearly care about them. I did note...
Every time you say that, she just kind of, like, winces a little bit. You can tell that she's... both feels guilty, but also feels like she's not supposed to be soft at all.
She's got a war going on.
You keep saying, like, oh, you take care of the chinchillas, and it's nice. And she's like, no, I'm the tough lady that doesn't like soft, adorable things.
She's warring with her heart. I noted that chinchillas are nocturnal animals. So why do you have them at the very top of the tower, where I assume that there's a lot of light that comes in?
I don't know how Scruggs got this space. It seems like he didn't have a place to stay. He was just kind of bumming it with chinchillas in the alleyways, I guess, until he got the job here. And then our boss just gave him this room.
Okay. So that was my lingering question, so I appreciate your answer. I am a little concerned about all the noise that's happening on the roof currently.
Yes. Should we investigate? Should we look into that?
I think we should, because I feel like choices are being made that we may have a problem with.
All right. Let's go outside. We'll take the door.
Okay.
All right. And she walks with you back down the stairs to head back outside.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we are up on a roof, traipsing about.
I remember how to do this. So he puts his fist in a very peculiar configuration, which he used in the past to What part? What did he do again with the
the dim mock, the death touch or the death touch?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically touches the the roof with it, and he's like, all right, so just punch right through.
Yeah, punch through it like you did in the movie, metaphorically. The punch, the you smashing through the barriers that celebrity has to reaching the hearts and minds of Americans, like you did in that scene where George came at you and you punched all the way through his head, and you said, "Can't buy you life." Wait, no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It was, I want to hold your head. It was so good.
Yeah, the critics just didn't understand it.
That's what I said.
We're going to do something and use the help mechanic.
Ooh.
Okay? Here's how helping each other works. You all will both pull heart to coordinate. Okay? Heart is also the skill that helps you work with other people. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to work together, you first do a heart pull to see how well you all are able to coordinate. That pull will decide if you are helping each other or hurting each other, and by how much. So go ahead, both of you pull for heart. I'm going to say the target is 2.
Okay, that's a failure.
I got mind.
Okay, so that's 1 success. So that means you didn't meet the target by 1. So now, both of you are trying to punch through this floor. You're going to try to use your references of how he used the punch before to help. So you're going to pull for mind, and you'll add your specialty, your skill, which is film. And you're going to pull for body and add assassin. But together, because he's a little annoyed with you, it seems, you're going to get a -1 penalty to all of your successes together. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so both of you pull for body and assassin, and you pull for mind and film.
I'm excited. This is.
I got body.
It's good. The goal is high because they're punching through a concrete.
I got failure.
Cool. We got one more.
Cavin's over here being sneaky, not listing his out.
I got body.
That's 4 total.
I got a skill, so that's 2, and a body, so that's 3, and then a failure.
So 3
9.
plus 7. No, 3 plus 4 is 7.
Okay, yep.
-1
6.
will make it 6. 6 is still like doing the impossible.
Wow.
So together, through remembering this film you've not thought of for a long time, and this person adamantly recounting how and where you, like, you're holding your hand, he's like, no, to the left, a little bit like this, and you...
Can I do it like it's Ghost? I'm going to
You
Demi Moore.
100%
You're my
you're
Demi Moore.
ghosting the hand. It's weird.
Which is
But
great
you-
because Elvis sang Unchained Melody.
No, he didn't.
And you put your
Who just Googled
fingertips
Elvis's
against...
songs?
Okay, that's fair. It was the Righteous
He
Brothers.
did a cover, and I'm doing the L version.
So, Elle, you put the tips of your fingers on the roof, and then you pull your hand back into a fist 1 inch away and stop breathing. You all are heading out of this place when all you hear above you is the roof caving in. You hear like an explosion of wood and stone and metal on the roof as you and Amelia are like on the 2nd floor coming down to the 1st, and you just hear that.
I look at Amelia. We lock eyes.
Uh-huh.
And at the same time we say, the chinchillas. And we go running back up the
Sprinting
stairs.
right back upstairs.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the chinchillas are surprisingly intelligent because they've been working with this detective for a while. And after they heard, like, all right, we're going to 1-inch punch the ceiling, they just went all behind the couch.
Okay.
To, like, shelter themselves, to be ready for what's about to happen. And then the roof breaks.
Did it break over the crime scene?
Uh-huh. I mean, because it breaks over into the whole... It's a wide room, so there's space. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to pull randomly, and if it's a success, it did not land on the crime scene.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, valid.
That's a success.
Yay!
So it landed on the other half of the room, which is a little bit farther away from the crime scene, because they don't know what the orientation is, because they didn't go inside at all. They don't know what the orientation of the room is. They just punched in a side of the building. And now there's a way to the roof. As you all climb back up, Amelia is like, has her gun drawn.
Am I still on the roof?
Arizona PD, heads up! And is just looking at you two on the roof.
And I'm deciding, do I put my hand up or do I go for my own gun?
I step in front of Elle and be like, if you're going to shoot anyone, shoot me and not this national treasure.
And I think we'll take a break.
Okay.
I think we'll take our break there.